I am gonna write lyrics to this song. I am.
Marilyn, Mr. Zoe, and sorry, we're coming back. Waves will be coming back in October. Definitely. We are live. Oh, there's a weird light, so it's making me look funny.
Oh, it's from the.
Yeah, I would close that. I don't like that light. No, that light. The O light.
I know, but I'm gonna turn this one on a little bit.
I'll turn us. We're already on anyways.
Hi, everybody! Hello.
So yes, we realized that the light was giving me a weird shadow on Facebook. I was like, I look like I have like a.
It looked like we were wearing those swimmers for kids. You know, those little swimming tubes.
Yeah,
it looked like we had tubes on.
Yeah, so I was like, why is it?
And then I'm like, well, maybe it's not.
Maybe we overate this
roll.
Back.
Maybe
a little bit.
I knew Kim would appreciate that. It's a drag race.
Hi, I'm Nick.
I'm Jean-Luc.
And we are the Wellness Warriors. Thank you for joining us on our show.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Happy Sunday. Our Zoom room is open. Jean-Luc, you want to give the number of our Zoom room for those watching?
Yes, Zoom number is 266-598-3468. So if anybody on Facebook is interested in joining us,
and the passcode
is JLNICK.
Same thing every single week.
JLNICK.
It doesn't change. We actually use the same one every week. So please come back, use the same code every week. And we just shared in Zoom that now we'll actually be opening the Zoom room at 6:30 every week.
It opens at 6:30, but Jean-Luc and Nick will actually be in the room at 6:30 every week.
Yes.
We are making a little bit of a change because Jean-Luc and Nick are night owls.
Yes.
And Jean-Luc and Nick are now starting to teach a step class at 7 a.m. And we need to be awake before the step class, which means we need to wake up at 6:30.
Yeah. So that means
we need to get to bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock. We can't do a 11, 12 like we've been doing.
Yeah, we can't do
And honestly, what is it that we'd say about our journeys is sleep is a huge part of it. And so I think by putting this making this new adaptation and putting this new rule, actually a rule that we'd had for a while, that we kind of let go a little bit. It was that rubber ball that I always say has been bouncing, that now we're like, okay, we need to pick up that rubber ball and make it be part of our journey again.
Exactly. So at 8 o'clock tonight, Zoom will close. Well, Zoom will stay open, but you guys can chat, but we will actually log off and actually go put everything away because we want to get ready for the next day and have at least an hour of downtime because we're very wired up after the show. We won't lie. You guys make us all like, woo, excited. And that's like, we need time to like breathe and meditate and relax and watch some Mom and laugh because that's what we're watching right now. We're rewatching this TV show, Mom.
It's a very interesting show. You know what's really interesting about that show is that they go to a lot of AA meetings, and honestly, it's very similar in a certain aspects to the whole WW type meeting, right? So, I mean, listening to them talk about being an alcoholic and being a drug addict, and I'm like, wow, and it's insane. And I don't want to compare any addictions to any other.
Never want to do that.
I never want to do that. But it is a lot of similarities there. How we talk about the mindset, how we talk about, trying to realize how good we are as individuals, because a lot of times we don't think we're good people if we ate something wrong. You know what I mean? So don't ever think that you're a bad person for what you put in your mouth.
You see the length of our sleeve has lengthened today?
Yes.
The word of the week is fall. Segue. The word of the week is fall.
And that could be I've fallen
or the fall. Or autumn.
Or autumn.
Autumn as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I tripped. That would work.
That would be a fall.
Yeah, that would be a fall. Anything that makes
however, as you can see, my T-shirt says what I really want it to be.
But you extended the sleeve, but you're putting a message out.
I love endless summer with palm trees in Canada. Yeah. I don't think that'll happen.
So a few things we want to talk about this week. There's a few announcements we want to lead off with because I think this is some kind of good news that people have been wanting to hear. So the first one we want to talk about is we've actually been talking to WW Canada.
We have.
And Jean-Luc and Nick are going to be visiting some studios in person. 5 of them in Ontario. Sorry for people in any other provinces or countries. We have to be able to drive. So it'll be in Ontario. Dates will be announced. You will have to reserve. It is going to be a reservation system. So the details will all come out. They're actually going to announce it and advertise it for all the members as well. We just want to share you guys because you guys always get to know stuff first about us. So we'll let you guys know all the details once we know, so you guys can be ready to sign up whenever you guys want to join us at those studios. And we're kind of excited. We haven't been to a studio.
Excited. And I'll be honest with you, I'm excited and nervous all at once. We went to the mall today, and I'm thinking actually I'll probably be less nervous at a studio because I'll recognize people. At the mall today, I was like paranoid city going, okay, I don't like being in here, but yeah, we had to live our life. We needed underwear, ladies.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a bit. We'll talk about the hot underwear shopping because there was a whole thing we talked about in a body step today that we shared a bunch of stuff. We thought we'd share with everyone because it's a funny story. So, and plus, I think you guys will relate. You ladies will relate with what we're talking about. What, you want to talk about our mail?
Yes, let's talk about some mail. Okay, so we did get one piece of mail this week, and Nicole's in the room with us right now. Yes. And I love that Nicole is here. And she sent us, and she started a new venture. And I want to make sure
she gave us a card.
She gave us a card, Thanks a beautiful card. And she started her Serenity Stone. So apparently, and I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this little story because I think it was very cool. She mentions this in the card that she wrote us, that during a Sunday night fireside chat, we had talked about keeping ourselves busy instead of snacking, you know? And she said, if it wasn't for you guys mentioning that, this never would have almost started. So she started painting her Serenity rocks. And she's now starting a new business that she's launched with her paintings and these beautiful rocks that she does. And I really
think pretty. And she made mine blue.
And she made mine red.
Of course.
And I honestly think it's
so pretty,
such a cool thing, and like the talent and the minute details, and on top of that, detail on the back. Which, if you know Nicole at all, she loves dragonflies.
It's like the dragonfly in on
Gilmore Girls. Exactly. And
so thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you so much for.
And I love what she said in her card about the whole about the fact that she is using this new hobby of hers to try to help her curb some eating. And I think some of you guys have heard Antenna's story, how she got a job to try to help her eating at night. So, and we do our videos, we go on walks, we create our TikTok videos, again, because we're trying to do activities instead of sitting down eating food. Think about that. Think about something you love doing that you can incorporate more into your life that you could do even more often.
And we see a lot of people. There's a lot of knitters and crocheters in the group here that do that. Look at the roses that we got from somebody else, from Laura.
She's actually on tonight.
And she's on tonight. Look at the roses that she made us. And I actually figured it out, put it in a nicer little vase.
I will marry you.
Yay! Don't throw them, please.
No.
But honestly, I love the fact that she found something that she enjoys doing and then now is making a business out of it. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, that's fantastic. Exactly. It's phenomenal. And it goes to show you that this journey is not just about weight.
Michelle is asking, Nicole, can you please post the link to your on the Facebook group? So if you can share that again, so Michelle would like to have the information. So please go ahead and share it again so that other people can actually look into.
And for those of you who don't know Nicole, I'm going to spot highlight her real quick. There we go. This is Nicole right here. So for those of you, thank you so much, Nicole. They're absolutely beautiful. They mean the moral to us. And on top of that, not only, this is the funny part, Nicole.
Okay, yeah, the funny story.
Funny story. So Lizette, Nick's mom, is huge with essential oils. So this weekend, she came prepared with her essential oils. And I have my bursitis. And Nick's mom was like, okay, I've been reading in my book. We need to put, I don't remember what oil it is, but I bought some now. We need to put some of that oil, and you need to do 5 minutes of hot water, cold water compresses for 20 minutes. I've been doing it, and it's insane.
It's insane.
The amount of swelling that has gone down on my elbow.
He used to have like a whole huge bump.
It was a huge bump. And now it's a little bump.
It's a little bump.
So now I'm waiting for my own essential oils to come in the mail so I can lower
And we're getting some lime.
And we're getting some lime essential oils.
Which I add to all my drinks.
And some allergy ones as well. But
Nicole.
Nicole sent us.
She's right there.
Yeah, Nicole sent us some to help us with our SADS and with our seasonal depression, which is great. Which
we're trying to fight through right now.
Definitely trying to fight. So we cannot wait to get working on this and making it part of our journey. And I think, you know what? there's nothing wrong with trying something, and especially if other people are referring it to
we
you.
We actually want to kind of give you guys kind of a little vision to why we started our TikTok videos this month, is because we understand this is a hard month for us. These TikTok videos are making us happy, making us laugh, and making us be so creative, and it's almost making us forget about our sads.
Definitely.
And see what I mean about trying to find ways. We're trying to find a tool this year to try to help us get through the doldrums of this time of year, because we know we get depressed. So like, let's do something that makes it fun for us. And so we're actually at 2,000 followers on TikTok now. We passed 2,000 today, and we keep going up. People are we're doing games. We're actually asking questions. The other day we asked people their middle names. We're actually going to be doing games coming up. We're actually going to have games where things we did as kids that we were taught, these like kids childhood games. We're going to say, do you remember this game? And see if you guys can, figure it out. So we have all these ideas.
Some ideas that.
And Jean-Luc, about your bilingual.
Oh yeah, we want to play some bilingual games too.
Yeah, bilingual games, French and English.
French and English stuff. But honestly, it's allowed us to tap into a different part of our journey. It's allowed us to tap into, what did we say? You have to have fun. And if you're not having fun, you're not enjoying life. And in order to join life, you have to do it. You have to make it fun. You have to be the leader of your own fun and your own journey, and making sure that your journey is always allowing you to smile and be happy. Yeah. Right. Even during the moments that we struggle, because trust me, we all struggle. We do. And it's not always easy.
It was cypress for Jean-Luc.
Thank you, Mom. And
it was cypress.
Yeah. It's the cypress essential oil.
And it's insane, guys, because like when I was pressing his elbow, because I rub it for him just to like kind of like help the fluids move. And when I was doing it last week, it was literally like a sack of fluid. And now it's actually like gone down. So it's amazing.
The tennis elbow is worse. Yay for getting older. Yay. I'm so excited.
So we're gonna keep going with our TikTok videos. We won't stop. We want to get to 5,000 now. We actually made it a goal. We have it's the 19th, so we have 12 days to hopefully make it to 5,000. So we're trying.
We're not depending on it, right? It's like setting a weight goal that you don't want to achieve. If we don't get there,
it's okay.
We're not oh my God, we're done.
We already made 1,000. Exactly. That was the initial goal. This is a super goal. This is like an additional goal on top. Next thing we want to talk about, another announcement, is our P3 retreats. So a lot of people have been asking, when's the next Power of 3 retreat?
When is the next Power of 3
We have dates for you all.
We do.
January 7th, 8th, and 9th, 2022.
And I'm going to let the cat out of the bag.
Yes.
Because a lot of you know the Power of 3 as Jean-Luc, Nick, and Antonetta, right?
But the Power of 3 has changed.
But that's actually no longer true.
The Power of 3 is now.
It's actually now full-time Nick
and Jean-Luc,
Antonetta,
and Kieran,
Keith's Kitchen.
So the three of us are combining
part of the Power of 3.
So we are combining mindset, mind, body,
a body
and soul from Keith's Kitchen.
Mind, body, and soul.
So, and the actual retreat we'll be doing on January 7th, 8th, and 9th will be about weight loss. It will be about weight loss. The first 2 retreats were more about mindset. This will be what we did, things we're going to share in activity.
Talking about fitness, talking about activity,
and different, again, games at night. We're still planning to do almost exact same things we did past retreats.
It is a virtual retreat. The dates are
January 7th, 8th, and 9th, 2022. Okay. And we also did it at that time because that's when people want to start their journey.
Right.
A lot of us reset in January. So we thought, why don't we do it right away so that we can, all start together. So signing up will be near the end of October. So we're just letting you guys know the dates so you guys can save the date. And the price is not changing. So it's the same price.
It's great to say, oh, honey, I want to go to this retreat.
Can you give it to me as a
gift?
Christmas gift? Like
right?
Christmas gifts, like you want to go to retreats, just but we can't wait, guys. We have a whole bunch of ideas with Kieran. She's definitely part of the Power of 3. We understood from the get-go that her knowledge and what she brings to the table is so important for us.
It is still the Power of 3. I know someone says the Power of 4.
Because we're one.
Jean-Luc and Nick are one entity.
We share a brain.
We share the brain. We are one entity, and then you get the double dose.
Yeah,
you get
double the pleasure, double the fun.
2 for the price of 1. It's like it's a BOGO sale.
Yeah, it's a BOGO sale.
It's a buy one get one free.
So my mom came this weekend. We had a lot of fun with her coming down. We went for a walk with her. She got to do some TikTok videos. And we got to have some desserts. We made some amazing lasagna last night using chickpea pasta. We shared it in our group. We will be sharing a video with you guys soon about that pasta. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely. It's so funny. So when you're gonna eat something that you kind of know it's going to be good. So I thought, yeah, it'll be okay. But lasagna noodles, and they are the non-boiled lasagna noodles. It's just basically break them, put them, or do whatever you want, put them in the oven with the sauce, and then they tender up themselves, so they cook without boiling. And so I was a little I wasn't skeptical, but I was not expecting that lasagna to be that good. I honestly was not.
It literally was. I told him when we were on the celebrity cruise, the Tuscan restaurant has a lasagna, and every time I'm on that cruise, I order that meal twice usually because I go 2 times at the restaurant because it's my favorite restaurant. It was just as good. It was so good that I can't wait for him to make it again. Can we make it a regular?
We're not sure if Costco will sell the lasagna noodles. To be honest with you, these are the first time we found them. We found them at the low carb grocery store here in. If
you Google them, you'll be able to order. You'll be able to order it online.
I heard you might be able to find them on Amazon as well. But and then someone asked about the ingredients, and it's basically 2 ingredients, 3 ingredients.
It's like lentil flour, red lentil flour, yellow lentil flour, and chickpea flour.
That's it. There's nothing else in there.
It's like I even posted the ingredients on the post that so you can buy it from the low carb grocery store online. Yeah, and it was amazing. Like it was so good that we can't wait to have it again. Like I do not. So the entire box of lasagna is 20 points, but we only each had a quarter of the serving, and my mom will say it was a huge lasagna because my mom, it was so good that my mom didn't want to stop. Like she's so full. She's like, it's too good.
Well, it was the noodle part, I would say was 5 points because I only put 2 noodles in each lasagna.
Yeah.
That's all I did. And they were broken in half.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So it would definitely recommend doing that. We also went for a walk with my mom on a new trail that we wanted to visit.
Yep.
We had a lot of fun. So we always have fun when she comes down. We just my mom and I, well, the 3 of us get along very well. He's his girlfriend. She they have this whole relationship thing that I don't get sometimes. I walk away and I'm like, okay, they're having that kind of talk, and I just kind of not get involved.
The talk that a son does not want to hear his mom have.
Right? Moms out there, your children don't want to hear it. Yeah, exactly. They have those conversations. I walk away.
Lizette and I have a very open relationship as far as talking about stuff that you wouldn't probably talk to your mother-in-law about.
And so today she went home and we went shopping. We bought new shirts. And they
were only $10. We love a good sale.
$10 shirts. Woo woo. And then we also got to find some socks at $5. So we have new socks for a body step, matching socks. And we also got ourselves some bow ties.
Bow ties and underwear.
Yep, underwear.
And we finally got new underwear.
So the underwear story. So today in the body step, when class was starting, I was trying to explain to the ladies in the room why men's underwear is an important purchase, why it takes time to find the ones you like. And I equated a men's nether regions to a women's bra area, right? And I said, when you go looking for a brassiere, you have to look for the right one, and then the second you come home, that thing comes off because it's uncomfortable, right? Well, it's the same thing for men down there. It's the same kind of thing. The underwear is not exactly the easiest thing to wear. There's things down there, and so it's very uncomfortable. So I had to explain this in the body step today, and I shared it
all over Facebook and YouTube right now.
Everybody's laughing. It's a funny story. I just thought I had to share it because I thought. And what's another thing that we noticed today when we were shopping, hun?
No, it was actually kind of a really weird thing because back in the day when we would go shopping and we would find something, we'd have to buy every single piece of clothing
in that style.
Because if we found it and it fit, it was like, oh my god,
red, blue, purple, green.
We'd buy like every single one because they had that size, blah. And another thing we noticed too was back in the day, could never find
2XL,
double XL, or extra large. It was very rare.
There was mediums and larges and smalls galore, or extra small. Yeah. I see a lot of extra small often.
And now it's completely opposite.
There's no mediums.
No mediums exist. We can never find medium.
Today, this store here, right? This is on the mannequin.
He took it off the mannequin.
I was like, took it off the mannequin, grabbed another one, put it on.
He dressed the mannequin back again.
I dressed the mannequin back up. I wanted the shirt.
I was like, put the large on the mannequin. No one will know. No one will know.
And the thing is that there were stacks of shirts.
That would have been a hilarious TikTok.
Yeah.
With that whole background. No one will know. No one will know. Just do it. Just do it.
So, and what was funny is that there were stacks of shirts below, and he was looking for, and it was like XL, 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 XL. It was like when we were looking for those sizes, we could never find them, and now we can't find our current size. Is anybody else that had that problem? Is that just us? Okay, Michelle's holding her hand up to Naomi as well. Okay, so we're not the only ones.
And we both do wear mediums, actually.
Yeah, we both do wear mediums. We actually went shopping to Simon's today. It's we love Simon's. They actually the clothes they have there. They had my underwear. I have a very.
So this is actually kind of funny. This is actually an ironic story. A couple years ago, Nick found underwear in the U.S. when we were right before our cruise. He loves these underwear. Blah blah blah.
I have one pair of them.
One pair. He only bought one pair, and he's like, "Oh, I wish I could find more." Never thought about looking online for them. Never, except for today. First time ever. He decides to look. He's like, "Oh, they sell them at Simon's? Oh, they're a Canadian brand. They're actually made in Quebec." So I'm like, you had to buy your first pair of underwear
in Florida
to find out that they were made in Canada, and you could have had them like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
but
no.
Like, what are the odds, right?
But I bought 2 more pairs today, so I'm very happy. We got some Saks underwear too. We love that brand as well. It's too kind.
And we've actually come to realize too that we've now applied a little bit of our food shopping type of mentality, or our food mentality to our shopping.
And here's why. Back in the day, Jean-Luc and Nick were all or nothing. We always did. We got everything. We went to a buffet, ate the entire pizza. We always all or nothing. Now we pick and choose. We have an 80-20 lifestyle. Shopping used to be the same way for us. We used to always go shopping once every 2 years.
Yeah, and it was like a trip.
It was like
we had to buy everything that we were going to wear for the next year and a half.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore either. We actually spend time. And the other thing that I noticed today is I actually turned to him and says, "Hun, when was the last time we shopped? We had bags from so many different stores."
And it's not like we bought a lot from each store, but which is a different way of looking at
because
things,
back in the day, we go to one store. Usually it was like a Sears or a Walmart or a
big and tall
store. And we buy everything in one store, walk out with one bag, and then that was it. Now we can walk to any store and we actually have time to browse and say, "Oh, I don't like this." And we actually have choice. And that's the thing the word is for us, is that we have choice now. Back in the day, we had no choice. I remember going to the big and tall store. I have actually used to, when I was on my biggest, I was wearing size 48. They don't make size 48 at regular stores. I had to go to big and tall stores to get 3XL. I was shopping there. And I don't want to say it's a bad thing I don't want to say anything bad about those stores, but the choice there is not as, if you think about it, if there's mediums in every store and you're going to one store for all of your clothing, you're not going to have as much choice as going to so many different stores and different styles. You're stuck to the style of one store. And so this has changed how we shop as well.
It definitely has changed how we shop. And it's definitely allowed us to feel like it's an NSV for us in a sense. You know what I mean? It makes us feel like, we don't need to spend everything all at once and buy it all at once. We can split things out and wear them differently now and not feel like we're always wearing the same thing.
Exactly.
And someone asked about our underwear, and the ones I prefer right now, I'm just going to let you know, they're called Saks. It's SAXX. And it's because they have a little mesh that helps chafing. I'll be honest with you. It just allows you to, and it's fantastic. So if you've never heard about them, go check them out online. And I do not promote I'm not a promoter of the company, but I am personally because I love them.
So, the next thing we want to talk to you guys about, it is fall today. I want to add some water. I don't know why I said that. There's no reason. I just wanted to say the word. I needed some water. So this week we reshared our WW commercial videos for you guys across all our platforms, Connect, everywhere. And we kind of said we'd talk to you guys about the entire experience for you all this week. If you haven't seen the commercial or seen our videos, we shared our audition video we made. We shared all 3 commercials we were on, as well as the trip we actually went to Los Angeles to film.
They actually allowed, we had asked if we could post something after about for our YouTube channel.
Yeah. So this was in 2018.
This happened in 2018. It actually all happened very oddly. We were in a studio, and one of the guides actually mentioned, "Oh, you should do the Member Mondays or something like that." And then it all stemmed from that. That turned into them reaching out to the agency then reaching out to us, and then flying us to California for, what was it, 2 days?
Yeah.
To film the commercial.
So before we share this full story, we want to give 2 disclaimers, because as much as the commercial was a good experience, there was some bad sides to it, and that's what we're going to share with you guys today.
And we've never shared
this publicly
anybody.
ever. It's the first time we shared. We couldn't share it for the first. Yeah. We were on contract for 2 years, so now we can share it. So the first thing is, we don't blame WW for our experience.
Nope, not at all.
We found out months later, after all this went down, that they had no say in what happened. They just hired a production company, and the production company is the one that reached out to all the people participating, and they're the ones who ran the entire thing. So we didn't know
they
that
had people there. WW was there just like saying yay or nay,
yeah, approving things,
concepts, yeah. But they weren't doing the rest of the stuff apparently.
And then the second disclaimer is, no matter what, it still in the end was a good experience. No matter what happened during what we're going to share with you guys today, it was still a good experience in the long run. We still don't regret doing it. It's just we'll share with you guys what happened. So you want to keep going the story after we got the emails to start going on this?
Yeah. So we got the very first call we had was, oh, we can't wait to have you guys come down. It's going to be like you and Nick in the kitchen, and you guys are going to be cooking like
together.
You always do, and you're going to be doing all this stuff, and then we'll have you like go on the beach, and we'll have you do all these things that you do as a couple together. And we're like, this is amazing. Like, how cool is that? You know?
So we signed up. We signed all the paperwork. We said, yes, we're willing to do this. We brought our tickets booked. The day of flying out, they sent me only forms, not Jean-Luc. And so looking at these forms, we didn't know what was going on. We're like, why is it just me getting forms? Why isn't he getting any? So I filled out the forms, sent them back, and we go to the airport, we fly out. When we land, we get to the fitting, and we find out that, first of all, I'm listed as Nick, and Jean-Luc is listed as friend. He's not listed as his own name. We also found out that we're actually not being put on a commercial together. We're put on a commercial with the girl, Katie, who was there, as friends in a restaurant instead. And at that point, Jean-Luc was already feeling kind of like, and the fitting, for anybody who wants to do commercial work or acting work, the fitting is not a fun place to be. The entire time you're being judged about your way you're looking.
The way you look.
And this is a production company. It's not WW with, not understanding that we're not actors. So one of the feedback we gave them after we did this entire thing was, you need to tell these people that you're not dealing with actors. You're dealing with people who are dealing with mental issues with their health,
with their weight.
Like we've had issues with our weights. You can't make us feel uncomfortable with the clothes you're giving us.
Yeah,
and they were especially hard on him and the other girl. Me, they kept like they kept telling Nick how amazing he was and how great he was and how attractive he was and he was so good looking. And Jean-Luc was like, "Oh, you could just pick the clothes in your suitcase. You brought clothes. Yeah, that'll work for you. Oh, we'll put these shoes on you." And to the person that we were with was, oh, your breasts are too big. Like there was comments that were made that we were just like, we were flabbergasted. Yeah, we were
absolutely flabbergasted with the comments that were made. So how we were feeling the entire time, like how we were treated, which was sucked for Nick and sucked for me. It was terrible for both of us.
So during the entire experience, I couldn't be happy about what was happening because he was so down. And then he was already going through his own thing. So it caused a lot of issues for our relationship.
Definitely.
If you go back to 2018, the fall of 2018, there's not a lot of content on our YouTube channel. We had a rough patch, a very rough patch, because I always support Jean-Luc with what he does. And he's a good singer. You guys know this. And I always try to support him when he goes singing. I can't sing like he does, so I can't be on stage. So this is my first time ever to be shown in a light that I was able to be presented. And I could be proud of myself for achieving something, being on a commercial, but I couldn't be happy because he was so sad. It was very hard for me. And so we had a huge fight. My mom was there, Boxing Day 2018. We had a huge blowout. And it was not pretty, guys.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it would have ever ruined us, or actually, you know what? It's so funny. Like
it brought us closer.
It brought us closer. It actually made us become who we are today. It was hard on me.
It was so hard on him.
It was so hard. I did not like myself. I even after having
wanted
lost
to stop doing WWE
all my weight, even and feeling like I was not worth it anymore, and knowing that we had done this together. And I will say this: if it wasn't for me speaking up,
you would have not seen him in
during that commercial, because I said something. Jean-Luc can't shut up, because when he gets upset, he gets upset. But I'm very professional about it. Nick was.
They were going to interview me alone.
They were interviewing him alone, and I said, "I'm sorry, but I completely disagree."
And I said, and
Nick was there.
And I said, "What do you want me to do the entire time?" My husband and I did this. My husband and I can't. Our story is so intertwined. I couldn't have done the interview without him. And so, thankfully, the WWE rep who was on set said, "Oh yeah, put them together." Like, yeah. Like, so again, we found all this out later.
Even little things that kind of perturbed us in the restaurant scene where we are an openly gay couple. We've never hid that from anyone.
We're the WWE gays. That's what we were known back then.
But yet we had to be split up on each side of the bench like we weren't a couple. And they made Nick look like he was with Katie, which really made me like so sour inside.
And so this has been inside us for all these months of like this has been inside us for years about this happening. We've not shared much of the entire experience because we couldn't. And now we wanted to be, yes, the commercial was a beautiful experience. In the end, it ended up being a beautiful, because what happened,
we still got to meet Katie, which was amazing. We got to meet so many other
we were on TV.
Exactly. So even out of something that was not the best experience, there was still positivity behind it. And I think that's what we want people to realize. When you're going through those moments of struggle, that things feel like you're in a beep show, you know what I mean? Like, it's just everything's piling up on top of you. There's still things in there that you can pull out and learn from. And we learned from it.
One of the things that happened that day is we became Jean-Luc and Nick, the WWE gays. Before we were just the WWE gays. After that trip, we realized we can no longer hide our names. We have to say Jean-Luc and Nick because he has to be present in everything I do, because it can't just be about me. So that changed our name and changed the full structure of where we're at now, because now we're known as Jean-Luc and Nick, the Wellness Warriors. We re-expanded everything because we want to make sure we're known as who we are. Yes, we do WWE. That's part of who we are, but it's not everything about what we are. We are so much more than that. And that's what we want to make sure that everybody understands. And that's what the whole name change happened. That's why everything happened the way it did. We had to kind of create our own life and our own unit in ourselves. Doesn't mean we don't love WWE. We're still going to be doing a tour, and we said it at the beginning. We don't blame them. Never. It wasn't their fault. So it's not their fault that this happened. It's just the way LA is. That's the way commercials are. That's the way they treat actors this way, and they assume. Can
you imagine being an actor? Like, I could not even fathom that being degraded all the time, and not even because you are an ugly person, you know what I mean? But you're not a style or a fit to what they're looking for. And that's what we're trying to say. So don't be in it was hard because it took me a long time to realize that it wasn't me. It was what they were looking for.
And the reason December 26th fight happened is because that's the day the commercial came out. And he wasn't on it. And that's when it started. And then each time something new would come out, a few months later, an ad came out. It was me only. He wasn't on it. It made him feel terrible. When the weekly came out that you guys have seen and I was on it, he wasn't. Every single time something came out, it always slapped us back to that moment where I couldn't celebrate because I was so happy I'm on a weekly. But because he's so sad about it, I can't celebrate. So we were both struggling.
And it was difficult because I was happy for him. Yeah. That's the hard part, is like, I'm freaking happy for him because he's on the weekly. But yet in my mind, I'm like,
where am I?
Well, who am I? And you know, one of the things that really hurt as well is the fact that they had the story. They had a story of a couple doing this together, which I felt was like, why wouldn't you want to celebrate that there was a couple that was able to lose
100 pounds each together? Yeah. And you can also touch about your other thing that you're also the fact that they showed Katie and you had lost 100. And
that's another thing that really hurt me.
You're the only lifetime person.
I was the only lifetime member on WW
on that
commercial. I had hit lifetime. I had lost my 100, and yet none of my weight loss was even mentioned.
Mine was.
As if I was nothing. I felt like
Katie, and we love Katie. This is nothing against her, and nothing against the amount that anybody loses.
It has nothing to do with the amount that you lose either.
It's just that she had lost 19, and they showed her 19. They showed my 101. They didn't show anything that he lost. And he made Lifetime
and
and lost 100 pounds.
It just made me feel like I felt like, why even have me there? Like I honestly felt I would have rather have not been there at all, because I felt like it wasn't. I didn't deserve it, and I know I did, and I know I did. But in my mind, at that time, I was like, why did I even bother? I should just go eat. Yeah. I honestly, I thought of it a lot. I did.
And it's true, Heather. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It did make us as a couple stronger.
Definitely.
It made us stronger.
The weekly doesn't bug me anymore, everybody.
No, I can actually celebrate now. I can
definitely celebrate.
That's why I can share the commercial again and share all of it, because we've moved on.
I still look at the commercial and I remember the experience we had. And honestly, when we're sitting at that table,
we're having a blast.
We had the best time ever around that table. If it wasn't for Katie and the actors that we met, because there was a lot of actors, and the experience in itself about being in a trailer while people were
being flown to LA, getting brought in a private car to the hotel.
That's what's so weird in our minds, playing these scenarios, because as much as there was so much negativity around it, there was so much more fun out of it.
So on YouTube, Julie asked, did WWE ever find out what happened? Yes, we actually spoke to WWE
Canada
when we started doing our studio tour in 2019, visiting place to place. One studio tour we had stopped at was in was Lindy's studio in Concord. The church. No, the church. I don't know if it's Concord. It's a church in Etobicoke. It's in Etobicoke. And at that workshop, there was actually
that workshop. We went to an earlier workshop as we were driving there.
Rosie.
We get to the church. And is that the one where the parking lot was full?
Yes.
The parking lot was full. And I'm like, there has to be a church bazaar.
No.
Like, there's no way. No, there was over 150 people in this workshop. Coming to see us.
Yes, it was packed.
And that's where we met Kevin, the president of
WWE.
Canada,
we met Ali, who was marketing at the time.
Aaron was there as well.
So we met them there, and through meeting them and discussing the tour and everything we did with them, we've actually spoken to all of them and let them know what happened. They know what happened. They've apologized to us. They said we had no idea this was happening. We had no clue. So it's again, even WWE Canada doesn't have as much say as WWE US, right? Because WWE Canada is just a part of the US enterprise. So they don't even have a say in most things that happen. They just follow what's being given to them. I don't even know how
that works.
Yeah, we don't know how that works, but that's like so. Do you feel there was a different attitude between Americans and
we were actually, if I'm not mistaken, the only Canadians that were flown to California for that shoot? There was one more Canadian, but she was flown actually to Europe, because originally we were supposed to go to Europe for this commercial, and at the last minute they pivoted us to California.
Yeah. They changed it last second on us. And then we still ended up going to Europe, to Barcelona anyways.
Yes.
So, we did. And like we said, guys, in the end, it did end up being a good experience in the long run. So remember, whatever you're going through now might suck, but in the long run, it might be beneficial to your full overall journey. You might learn a lesson from that period of time, right?
We're all learning. And I said it a couple weeks ago.
I'm scared my mom has her hand
Every single day we learn something new. So tomorrow you are a different person, no matter which way you look at it. You're not the same person you were yesterday. And I know Mom wanted to say something, I guess.
Yes, go ahead, Mom.
Okay, just a question.
We can't hear you, Mom. 1 second.
1 second.
It's not you.
It's not you. It's us.
It's not you. It's us.
It's always us.
We have issues.
Our speaker always turns off on us. It just turns off.
I don't know why.
I have a question. I was there when it happened and stuff like that. And now I'm wondering, because your attitude is so much more positive now, would it be different if you think of the experience right now? Back then, you were not that positive. And I'm wondering if now it would be a different experience. It would have been easier for you to go through.
No,
I don't think so.
That's why we don't do stuff apart.
Yeah.
That's why we try to do everything as a duo, because we know that it's, first of all,
you know what though? That's a question I can't answer unless we were presented with the actual situation.
I would still feel guilty.
Well, yeah,
I would still feel guilty that I'm chosen and he's not, no matter what. So that's just the way I am. We do everything together. So why am I going to get the praise when he doesn't? That's the way I feel. And so I felt I didn't mind being in the commercial. I love being chosen and all that. That's great. But the thing that hurt for me the most was the fact that the person that did it, I couldn't have done it without him. I said in my interview, I couldn't have done this without him. And they're excluding the biggest part of my success, which is being together, doing it together, which should be something they should be showcasing. And that's what really kind of Yeah.
That's what threw us off.
Thanks, Mom.
But thanks for the question, Mom. That's a really good question.
Yeah, my mom had to help us really with that
She
one
did.
fight.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of yelling.
Jean-Luc walked out.
Yeah, Jean-Luc walked out of the house.
I don't know where I was going, but I was leaving.
Going somewhere.
I was walking by foot.
So
hey, I could walk back
we
then.
did have a few more questions this week about the commercial that are on that we got from Karen, and she's actually here tonight. So I thought we'd take up some of them. So what led you led us to be chosen? YouTube.
It was YouTube, actually.
Yeah.
It was after we sent in our audition. They liked our dynamics, but yet never used it. But you know what I think it is too, is Canada got to pick, or whoever here in the agency got to pick the Canadian people they wanted to
And they
bring
sent that
on to the
production.
US. And then they, by just pictures, did not get to see any of the auditions, said, oh, we like him, we like her, we like him.
Yeah.
That's how we understand it was picked. But again, hearsay.
Yeah. That's we don't.
That's how we heard, but we're not 100%.
And
sure.
we know that our YouTube channel at the time was being watched a lot and they knew about us. So I think that's kind of one of the reasons. So if a few people have asked us, like, how do you become an ambassador? How do you become? It's
There's
sharing your
some
journey.
New ambassadors that have just been released right now. I forget some of their names, but there's some new WW ambassadors.
Because we're not.
We are no longer WW ambassadors.
We're not
everybody.
WW ambassadors.
Just letting you know, we are no longer ambassadors.
They're changing the direction of how they're doing it. They're actually picking members that are still losing weight. They're trying to find another thing for us because that's why we're still doing a tour. So we're still part of WW in some way. We're just not ambassadors because they've changed the program.
We're still ambassadors in our own right. Because I think every single one of us who is a WW member,
we're all ambassadors. Let's all take the title. Let's all put in our names. But Naomi, W ambassador. Michelle, W ambassador. Lisa, W ambassador from Bradford.
I love it.
The next question is, did you know Katie before? No, we did not.
But oh my goodness, can I tell the story?
Yes, tell the story. We did in the video though.
We did, but I know I love it again. I love Katie. Katie was fantastic. And the funny thing is, when the first thing Katie said to us, she goes, "Oh, what are the odds?" And we're like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, I'm always with gay people." And we're like, okay.
How rude. Well, I guess I'm not getting along with her.
But she was like, she's laughing about it because she goes, "I have lesbian mothers. Like,
I have 4 moms.
4 moms. I have 4 moms." So because her moms were together, they split up. They had Katie, and then they got both remarried
to other women. So she has 4 moms.
4 moms.
So like,
we were like, that is the coolest story.
How do they know? like, how do they know?
Like, that's just amazing.
So we'll put all the gays together. Yeah. There we go.
And
they're having a fun time.
I'm not going to tell you what we were talking about.
No, you don't.
But let's just say every single laugh Katie had
was
at
truthful.
The table was very truthful, and it was because Jean-Luc was WW gays after dark at the table. Just because they were forcing us to eat.
Hon, just say it. Just say it the way they were telling you.
We were talking about tacos. Let's just say that.
And,
okay?
it said, oh, they kept telling us, eat your tacos.
Oh, and
enjoy it.
Katie, share your taco with Jean-Luc. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
They were making us they were literally asking us to like crunch, and the other, we shared it in a video. We had to eat so much tacos, guys, and enchiladas, and because it's not one take. There's a take with like a bottle of alcohol. There's a take without a bottle of alcohol because some countries you can't have alcohol on TV. And there were so many different takes of different things.
The waitress, who you don't even see throughout the entire commercial, had tattoos all the way up and down her arm, and they actually put makeup on them to cover them. But yet she never even made it in the commercial.
It's insane the work you see behind the scenes of what they do just for those 30-second, like those small commercials. There's so much different things they do.
And what made us laugh even more was when we walked into the restaurant and all the extras came in because they had extras all over the place. And we were like, oh, they made us try that clothes on yesterday. Oh, I guess it didn't make it. They made them to try that shirt on. Oh, yeah.
And what was really weird, guys, is that like we were in an air-conditioned trailer with all they call us the talents. And as you walk out of the trailer, there's like rickety like folding chairs in the sun, and there's the extras sitting there. And we're like sorry, like you're walking by them. I'm going to makeup, and they're like just sitting there in the sun.
Everyone was so nice. Even a lot of them
felt bad. Like, do you want to come in for some cool air?
There was the one girl that was so excited because they were putting her with me originally. They were having another girl sit with me who was just an extra, and she was like, what are we filming? They had no clue what they were filming. None. They're like, what is this? We're like, oh, we all lost weight on WW. Oh, cool. She was pregnant, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So it was kind of really funny. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we don't like you there. Move.
They moved her off the table.
Moved her off the table.
Then they switched me sides and they changed stuff around. Like, it was a lot of shots, and we were there too late too. The restaurant was actually opening up. We had to rush it. So it was a whole.
They actually closed a whole restaurant down to do this. And a lot of other takes, some other people that were on the journey. One of the Whitney, she was fantastic. She actually has a Facebook page herself.
Yeah,
and it's
Eat Plants and Prosper.
Eat Plants and Prosper. And she did a whole yoga and a running thing. So everybody was at different times. It was quite a crazy busy day, but
I'll just say I don't feel like I've ever been to LA because we landed, costume fitting, hotel, commercial shoot, hotel, fly home.
Yeah.
That's essentially the entire trip was. But I got to see, downtown LA. We walked around. I got to see,
we went to Walgreens,
Whole Foods,
and Whole Foods.
Yeah,
we had breakfast at
Whole Foods. Yeah, it was great.
Walgreens. Yeah, there's California.
But we had fun. We made the best of it when we could. We fought a lot. We cried a lot. There was a lot of arguments, but we know we love each other because we made it through that. We know that we can make it through a bunch of stuff now because we made it through that. And even to this day, whenever any situation comes up, we always try to make sure that it's two of us.
We've known each other for 13 years. Exactly. It was 3 days ago.
Yeah, we actually drove by our first date restaurant today.
By the restaurant today and waved to Boston Pizza.
Yeah, hi Boston Pizza.
We had our first date
at Square One in Mississauga. Yeah. So that's so our anniversary's coming up.
Yeah, October 1st.
10-year anniversary.
10-year wedding.
Yeah, 10-year wedding. So we have other questions that were asked last week that we couldn't get to last week. So we thought we'd actually finish up today with these questions right here. So you want to do the first one?
Yes. So it says, I don't understand the reason behind tracking activity points. I started WW back when activity gave you extra points to eat. Now they don't mean anything. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that activity is important, but for our health, but why track them? Okay, so and this was asked on WWUS by Janine A42, and I'll be honest with you, I've never heard that activity points don't give you points because you still get.
You can set it up in your app to actually transfer fit points to become
smart points.
Smart points. There is a setting you can do that, and we've never eaten our activity points. We've never converted, and we use that as our 80-20. That's our 20%. We know that if I'm eating over my points today, that's part of my 20%. That's my activity points I'm using.
But we never use them Monday through whatever, until there was an occasion. If we knew we were going to be having drinks, we weren't worried because we knew we had been active.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So that's how we've always played with our activity points. But we've never said, oh, I've got an extra 150 activity points. I can divide them through my week and eat them per day.
And
I've never done that.
And our activity tracking is very different. We have watches.
Yeah.
They automatically sync up to our app. So we don't actually go in and put it in.
Never.
Now, mind you, if we didn't have these watches, we would probably not track our activity. We'll be fully honest with you all.
Yeah.
We don't like tracking.
It
would not be something we would do because if we're not going to use it in any other way, we wouldn't do it.
I'm honestly wondering if Siri tracking would help because I know you can do it, but I don't think I would do it. I should try it.
Well, we were good last week. We made a new rule last week. We said if either, because what we would do back in the day, oh, we're eating something. Okay, I'll track my points. I won't tell him. Track. Then oh, we're eating something else. I'll track. I won't tell him. And then an hour later, he's like, oh, how many points am I missing? And then he'd have to catch up. We made a new rule now. If any of us track, we tell the other one, I'm tracking.
Yeah, you remember snack on, snack off? Now it's track on, track off.
Yeah, we're telling each other we're tracking no matter what. If you're tracking a 0 point food, you let me know so that it triggers in my mind a trigger, and it just says, okay, you track too at the same time. So it helped us. We haven't tracked every day this week, right, Mom?
And I like Patricia here. She says activity points is undoing all the good choices. I agree with that to an extent. I don't think activity points are meant for you to say, oh, it's a free-for-all because I'm always being active. Because if you're always being active, but you're still eating all the food,
you're not gonna
see any change.
You're just gonna plateau for a long time or maintain.
It's gonna equal out in the long run, or one might actually surpass the other because you won't have that balance. And again, this entire journey is about finding balance. Right? It's a teeter-totter where you have to find that exact
formula for yourself.
Formula for what works for you.
And your formula is not my formula. My formula is not his formula. We have very similar formulas, but we understand we don't gain and lose the same way. We are very different the way we are. We found ways to kind of meld it together so it works for both of us, but there's still things that I have to do that he has to do that's not the same for our own journeys. I'll do the
I
next.
love that, Leslie. Exercise is a celebration of what your body can do and not punishment for what you ate. That is so well said.
I said it the other week about being able to get up from the ground in an instant. Like I used to have a fear of if someone was chasing me when I was bigger, I couldn't outrun them or I couldn't get away in some way. And I used to always be something I don't know why, it was just something in the back of my head. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking weird things, but now I know I can get up and run. So that to me is what activity has done for me, right? So it's made me stronger. So it's giving me other things than just being able to eat food. It's giving me strength, mental health. It helps me get through things throughout the week. Yeah. So it's not just for food anymore for me to have activity.
Well, and I think what ends up happening is we should never equate, if I'm active, I can eat more.
Yeah. Yeah.
That should never be an equation. It should never be an equation.
That should never be an equation.
It should never be if I'm active. If I'm hungry, I should eat more.
Yeah.
That is different.
Yeah.
But if I'm active, I can eat more
should eat more. Because activity does increase your hunger.
That's where you have to be careful with that, right?
Doesn't mean active. Your hunger doesn't mean it's an extra Big Mac. It can mean hunger means a few more pieces of chicken.
Have a piece of chicken,
right?
Or protein,
right? Like, that's the thing. You have to look at what you're doing with what you're eating.
Because a lot of times we tend to mistake that points mean all the like yummy, delicious, high caloric foods. But no, points should be like our meats and our, the things that are potatoes, our starches, the things that we should have points because we need those, our oils, because we need those in our everyday meals.
So our next question, also from WWS, from Punk in Marlowe. The question was, after losing and gaining back more than once, what was the impetus and mindset that got you going one last time? We've shared this often. It was health. Every time we would try to lose weight before, we were never at a point where our bodies were starting to tell us, hey, there's something going on here. I was able to be a bigger guy all those years without really having any major health issues yet. And I also saw in my family, more so than his, what happens from having excess weight for a long time, diabetes, all the health issues. And I was already having issues with my blood pressure. And so that was the clincher for us to actually make a change. And the fact that we were having heartburn and indigestion all the freaking time. Oh.
And I'm going to say this, after I read that question, what was the mindset that got you going one last time? I finally realized that there will never be one last time.
Yeah.
It's going to be forever. I will always struggle. I will always, at some point in my life, possibly gain weight back. I will always be.
But I will never give up.
I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to stop
trying
to make the best choices I possibly can.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one thing that I would say there's not one last time.
Example today for last night we ate a big meal, lasagna. We had a lot of snacks. We were very full. So this morning we no breakfast. We didn't have lunch with my mom. We actually went to the mall and had Indian at the mall. Yep. We had Indian mall. We said it. We had it at 2:00. And we said, this is lunch and dinner. We're having a lupper tonight because we were still full. Why are we going to eat again? And why do we need another meal? If we're not hungry, why are we going to stuff something else down our throat? So we combined lunch and dinner today. I'm still not hungry.
Right now.
And it's 8:00. So we know
we have fruit in the fridge. We have other snacks that we know we can have that we are still feeling okay with where we're at.
And that's the difference in Jean-Luc and Nick. Jean-Luc and Nick back in the day, meal wasn't skippable. Even if I ate lunch and dinner, I had to have a dinner,
breakfast, lunch,
and dinner.
Snack. And it wasn't portioned controlled either then.
No. It was just big plates, constantly eating over and over again. And that's what's changed in us. That's the fundamental change. When people say, what happened to change the trajectory? That's what changed. We realized that, first of all, we needed to be healthy. It's not just about the weight. It's about being healthy and changing how horrible we felt and making better choices. And then in the long run, that ended up doing all these other changes that ended up coming from doing those changes.
Well, and it was funny because there's a little bit of a follow-up on there, which was, how did you handle moments of the diet burnout? We never looked at this as a diet. We're not on a diet.
We're not on a diet.
We're not on a diet.
Like literally, guys, what I eat today is what I want to eat tomorrow, is what I'm going to eat 3 months from now. I'm not changing these recipes that we've come up with, the foods that we've created.
Which we adore and love.
Like the lasagna he made. I mean, it was like I almost fell off my chair how good it was. Like it was It was so good.
I was like, what swells on a chef? Like my chef hat is swelling.
It's like you're gonna come back with a big hat next time.
Won't be able to get through the kitchen.
It's like on that scary movie when the hat keeps growing.
The hat keeps growing. But honestly, it's one of those things that we've gotten rid of the diet burnout by knowing we're not on a diet.
We keep telling people we talk about in our Forever Method video. Diet cycle. We had the diet cycle. We would start every January. We take the end of the year as, it's September. Christmas is coming in 3 months. Why bother now? We might as well just eat whatever we want. We'll start back up in January. That was often our mindset because we were on a diet. Now we just eat the same things all the time. Not the same things, the healthy things all the time. We eat healthier meals all the time. Still indulge in moments and go out and meet friends and have fun.
Lasagna at Jean-Luc's house back in the day would have been the entire box of lasagna noodles in
one sitting.
There would have been 2 containers of cottage cheese in it, plus a container of ricotta cheese.
A full brick of cheese.
A bag of shredded cheese, minimum. No, this was a third of a cup of mozzarella,
more marinara,
half a cup of spinach,
ground
turkey. So like, just think of the way the food was prepared, the difference between it.
We're still having lasagna, just not the same way. And I think that's what fundamentally changed with us. It's that we realized that this time, instead of the last times where our diet cycles were literally, and I think, and I don't want to say other people do this and it works for them. It just didn't work for us. Is when I'm doing my points, I'm eating the same thing I ate before. I'm just putting points to them. So if I used to eat, a ham and cheese sandwich every lunch, I'm still eating my ham and cheese sandwich. I'm just tracking and putting it in, which is fine if that works for you. Definitely. It did not work for us because we wouldn't lose weight when we would do that because we ate so much. So we had to change. But our change back then used to be, I ate a lasagna every weekend to I'm eating salad every day now. I'm eating chicken and steamed broccoli. I'm not being creative in the foods we're making. So it got boring.
Where the change could be, okay, you know what? I'm having ham and cheese. Maybe I'll get rid of the ham and have some lean turkey instead. Still having meat and cheese, still having bread, but yet I'm not having the meat, the higher point in the meat, right? So those small changes, it's not like you have to make these drastic changes from the get-go. And those small changes can happen all the time. We're still changing things as we go along on the journey.
We were talking in Zoom before everybody logged on today. We are experimenting right now. This month of September, we are trying out something for ourselves, for our journey to understand. We've told you guys our forever method is about finding the things we enjoy doing forever. We've also told you guys tracking is not our favorite thing. And so for us, thinking of tracking for the rest of our lives is a very hard concept to grasp. So we're trying to find a way, how can we do this forever? And so this month is a test for us.
Can we balance our tracking as an 80-20 rule for us?
Can we track Monday to Friday? And then on Saturday and Sunday, maybe those are the days that we indulge a bit more. We're still within reason. We know what to do now. We're testing it out. At the end of the month,
not saying it's going to be what we go with.
If we get at the end of the month and we gain 10 pounds, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
Physically, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And even if we get to the end and it does work, it's still going to be like something we have to keep testing, and we have to keep adjusting.
We have to make sure that we're ready. You always have to make sure you're ready to deal with the consequences with a choice that you make. You have to be ready for that. That's just life. There's consequences, and consequences, again, I think a lot of us go automatically to negative when we hear the word consequence because we think it's a bad word. But there could be so many positive consequences that come out of trying something different or trying something in a different way. Not doing something completely different, but just moving it around a little bit. I said it for a long time. If you're walking the same path over and over again, walk in the opposite direction. As simple as that. Going back into the opposite direction, what was an uphill is now a downhill. What was a downhill is now an uphill. You're getting a different walk. Exactly. But the same journey.
Yeah. So I love these questions. I love getting them. So if you have more questions for us, please send us an email, www.gays@gmail.com, or comment on our post and say, hey, can you guys take up this question next week on Sunday's show? Ask us any post anywhere. We'll see it and we'll grab it, and we'll actually just tag us in any of them, and we'll grab it and we'll put it on our list for next week. We still have more. We'll get to the next week because we're actually running out of time.
I know. And I love this. Leslie said something about permanent mindset. I love that idea, having a permanence mindset. And it's funny because R is a forever mindset. So
she's saying people have permanence. They should change. It's hard to make changes.
Yeah, when you have a permanent mindset where, I'm doing this not for, like, in my mind, forever means I want to do things that I enjoy doing all the time. It's not meaning it's permanent.
Yeah.
But I'm picking the things that I think I can do for as long as I possibly can.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much for joining us again, everyone. So next Saturday, our Have You Met video with Nisha comes out.
And you know what's even more exciting is next Saturday we get to meet her in person.
Because we're going to the Abadi picnic. So hopefully we'll get to see some of you there if you're going. If not, we'll see you guys at some point. We're going to be going to the studios too now. We'll all meet someday at some point. I'm sure of it.
It's going to happen.
We're going to Mexico with some people too. So we're going to have fun everywhere. We're going to party it up. We also have her on our Campfire chat on October 3rd.
Yep.
3rd. I'm like, did I get the right date wrong? Good day. So she's gonna be our special guest right here, Zoom. We're here every Sunday at 7 or 6:30 now. Join us at 6:30 on Zoom.
We also have another special guest coming to speak to us, Mel Bells. You all know who Mel Bells is. She's actually been doing something a little different, which we don't know about much. Well, we kind of do without knowing about it because we kind of do it sometimes, which is intermittent fasting. And we want people to talk about their journey. And Mel follows this page. And she's a huge WW supporter still, but she's been trying this intermittent fasting and it's been working for her.
And we don't do it, so we can't talk about it.
So we thought it'd be a great idea to have someone who's been doing it talking about it, to give people information on how it works. We're not saying that, you should all start doing intermittent fasting now. That's not what we're saying. But we are firm believers that whoever is on a wellness journey who wants to share their strategies, their approach, there might be little tidbits of information that she throws out to you that goes, wow, I never thought about that. I wonder how I can apply that to my WW journey.
Exactly.
Right.
And we also have, so she'll be here on October 24th. And then we also have a reminder again, save the date, P3 retreat, January 7th, 8th, and 9th. We'll be doing our next retreat.
All day and evening if you can, because there will be a games night, there will be a dance night, there will be like
we're gonna party it up like it's again. 1999. Except Zoom didn't exist then. So I guess we're going to be partying it like it's 2099.
1999, but it would have been like. And then the ICQ noises.
Yeah. So that's happening. So thank you everyone for joining us today. If you guys want to find us on any social media, you can find us. Our Facebook group is Jean-Luc and Nick, the Wellness Burger VI Peeps. You can find us. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok. Connect at the WW Gays. Actually, on TikTok, it's Jean-Luc and Nick now. No, it's still WW Gays.
But we can never find it.
No, we might be changing our names everywhere soon to Jean-Luc and Nick. We might be changing our names everywhere. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. And our website, jeanlucandnick.com.
Oh my God, Tia's here tonight, and thank you so much for the cutest little poem that you wrote. That was the best thing. I don't know if you guys saw that about Abadi Step 3. She created this little thing with every single song title, which like blew me away. It cracked me up. It made me what a great way to start my morning today.
So you can also find our shop, jeanlucandnick.com/shop, our recipes, jeanlucandnick.com/recipes. You can send us some mail.
Definitely. And our P.O. Box is 91152 Bayview Village, Willowdale, Ontario, Canada, M2K 2Y2.
2Y6?
2Y6. 2Y6. I do that every week. I always want to say 2Y2.
And then send us an email, www.gays@gmail.com. We thank you all for joining us tonight. And have a great
week, everybody. Wish I had marshmallows.